When she was about 10 weeks old, she had a crushing injury.
He jerked his leg up and it ended up severing his Achilles heel.
Not much is known about this issue. Nobody seems to know what to do about it.
I have a prosthetic just like Frankie.
At Possibility in Toronto, Janice Olnick makes and fits prosthetic and orthotic devices for dogs and other animals.
Got it. I know. What do you think?
While she was originally trained to make devices for humans, she's now modified her skills to help animals lead their happiest, healthiest, and most playful lives, making them adaptable animals.
We have Miss Frankie, and she's here for a tune-up with Possibility. Come on, Frank. Let's go see. Where's Janice?
Today at Possibility, Janice is starting her busy day off with a familiar face, Frankie, the three-legged golden retriever.
Frankie!
So what are we repairing today?
We are just doing a tune-up.
Tune-up?
Yep.
I can do that.
Along with her owners, Joey Bennett and Jody Reed, Frankie's been coming here since she was just a puppy.
All right, well, we'll pop this off,
Okay.
and then we'll repair what we need to.
We're on 4 prosthetics, and she loves her leg. I think her leg's probably her favorite thing that she's got. She started so early, and she's had incredible success considering she has a very short stump, which means that there isn't a lot of things for the prosthetic to grab onto.
Over the last few months, Frankie put a lot of wear and tear on her device. Today, they're hoping to get the treads and Velcro straps replaced.
It's not that they come all the time for new devices, but they're coming back for repairs, and it's nice to have them, you know, come for a visit. And yeah, there's some pretty special ones for sure. Like Frankie, she just brings so much joy. Like as soon as she gets out of the car, she's just sunshine.
All right, well, let me get started on this.
Come on.
Frankie and her owners leave Janice to her work and head to the park. While Frankie can now walk both with and without her prosthesis, she wasn't always this strong.
When this little puppy was pulled out of the womb on a C-section, she had the umbilical cord wrapped around her leg.
As infections spread, no one was sure if Frankie would even survive.
If it wasn't for our breeder that was caring for her with her litter at home, she wouldn't have. She was feeding her with a baby bottle, and we'd go every week and hold her and feed her, and yeah.
She had amazing people around her, her litter mates like the dogs, but the families that come to visit. She was wrapped up in the love of kids, and I swear it gave her the will to survive. And obviously she did.
This is Roscoe. We're here to see Janice today and see how his leg's healing.
Roscoe is a 3-year-old Goldendoodle who's being brought in by his owner, Brent Smith. Roscoe suffered a serious injury, which required surgery 3 months ago.
I guess it would have been the middle of July. He was being groomed. As we were grooming down his leg, he jerked his leg up and it ended up severing his Achilles heel.
After having his leg fully immobilized for 6 weeks, a hinge was added to Roscoe's post-op brace to increase his range of motion. As the healing progresses, more range is added to the brace.
The brace would start out completely rigid in a very extended angle, but I would have molded space in for hinges. So what we'll do is we'll cut the shell and put hinges in. So now he's moving in a very small range, but he's stretching and flexing and extending his tarsus. And we can do a couple range of motion adjustments, and then he will start to transition out.
With the busy schedule at the clinic, Janice has brought in Christina Jordmena, a registered vet technician and certified canine rehabilitation practitioner, to help.
You're a star. Oh, wow.
I think veterinary orthotic prosthetics is gaining a lot more momentum, and she needed some help. Being a vet tech, I've got a lot of hands-on experience with the animals.
Okay? Up.
Yeah, good job.
There you go. Good boy.
Roscoe is put into a temporary brace, while Janice takes his regular device to the workshop for a quick fix.
All right, so we're all set. I ground away some more material in front of the hinge to allow him to bend it even more. So he's getting to stretch this tendon a bit more. So I'll get him up. See him go.
See you go.
Roscoe quickly adjusts to the increased range of motion. The next step for him will be slowly transitioning out of the brace.
Looks good. It looks really good. Yes.
All right, let's go, bud.
But not every visit is as straightforward as Roscoe's.
This is Ava. And she's here to see Janice. She hurt her right front paw in a crushing injury when she was 10 weeks old. We're hoping a boot will help. I'm Charlotte, and this is Ava.
Nice to meet you.
Nice.
So we're doing casting and test fitting today.
For new clients, like Ava, Janice usually fits and creates the device over 3 visits. But depending on where the owner is from, she often adjusts her timeline.
If somebody's coming from out of town, and I'll get them to come just twice, so we'll do casting and test fit in the same session, and then we'll get them back the following week.
Oh my goodness, you can have a cone. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. I know, come on. You gotta come on our mat.
I just love them, and there's times where I'm in there and I'm just like down on the ground and squeaking, and people must think I'm like nuts, but I like it, and I don't know. I don't have I'm not super reserved when I'm around dogs.
With dogs who are new to Pawsability, it's important to make them feel as relaxed as possible.
Do you want some peanut butter?
A lot of animals are unsure when they first come in. You know, it's a bit scary. It's a new place, new smells, new people. A lot of them are experiencing some level of fear, anxiety, and stress.
Today, Janice will take a cast of Ava's injured leg and use it to make a test brace.
So this would be different than a prosthetic fitting in the sense that we have most of the foot still here. So we're not going to be recreating length. There's no aligning a support structure underneath. What we do need to do is still cast the foot and the carpus in the best possible position and sort of really capture the shape.
The key to a good cast is keeping the dog as still as possible.
And we're just going to hold it till it sets. And this casting tape is nice because it doesn't set to be extremely rigid, and I can just cut it with those bandage scissors, so we don't need a saw or anything.
The cast comes off without a problem. Getting a good fit now saves time when it comes to creating and fitting the final prototype later.
That was good, that was perfect.
So that's it for now. So we're going to go ahead and pour this up and make up the prototype.
Okay.
The clock is now ticking for Janice and Christina. They have just 2 hours before Ava and her owner Charlotte return to try on Ava's test brace. Coming up.
The 2-hour timeline is tight. It's helpful if we both have stuff to do.
Adaptable Animals is back. At Pawsability, Janice and her assistant Christina are creating a test brace for Ava's injured paw.
So we're going to seal this up, and I don't need very much off the top, like just the tiniest little bit.
Once the cast has been glued, sealed with plaster wrap, and trimmed, wet plaster is poured inside.
So we'll leave that for like 10-15 minutes.
As the plaster mold sets in the workshop,
Come on, Ava.
Ava and her owner Charlotte Hogan kill some time, enjoying the sights and new smells of a nearby park.
Good
While
girl.
Ava's walk appears normal on the outside, structural issues inside her right paw continue to cause her pain.
When she was about 10 weeks old, she had a crushing injury that came down on her paw, and it tore the skin and a lot of the meat away, and it crushed the bones that were inside of her paw, much like our fingers. So when she walks, because the toes are missing, she turns her paw a little bit, which over time throughout the day causes pain in the rest of her leg and in the paw, and she starts to limp. So I'm hoping that Janice will be able to make her a custom shoe that will help support the missing toes, and in the long run, hopefully prevent injury to her carpus, elbow, and shoulder.
Back at the workshop, the plaster is set and the soft cast surrounding the mold is cut away. Now Janice's work begins.
When you're modifying, you're looking to smooth out any irregularities that happened in casting. You're looking to make an easy way for the dog to transition into the device by creating a bit of a trough. And you're also looking to potentially give space around areas that don't tolerate load or contact as much, and then you can load areas that do.
Once Janice has made her modifications, Christina applies foam to the cast, which will make up the inside of the brace.
So the test brace is like a plastic prototype of what the final brace is going to be. It gives me a chance to check the fit before I make the final device and make changes possibly before I make that device. So it's an extra step, but it provides a lot of useful information.
With a hard plastic shell and foam interior now ready, Janice and Christina put the finishing touches on the brace, smoothing edges, creating a hinge at the ankle joint, and inserting straps and padding. Not much time is left.
The 2-hour timeline is tight, and so it's helpful if we both have stuff to do.
Despite the rush, Janice is happy to ease the burden of her out-of-town customers and limit the number of return trips they have to make. Ava's test device is ready just in time.
You want to put enough in to make sure that you have a safe, comfortable, functional test fit. You don't want to overdo it, so certainly there's a lot of unfinished things about this, but it's only going to be on for a couple minutes. Are you ready? Are you ready to try your shoe? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. We can do this standing. We don't need her leg.
Perfect.
We're just gonna.
With the brace on, Ava walks inside and out as Janice judges the overall fit. It can take time for a dog to adjust to their device.
So that was pretty good. I mean, they often walk a little bit awkwardly at the start for sure. Oftentimes they do a bit of exaggerated elbow flexion because they're just not sure of what to do. So we heard a lot of stomping.
Janice then inspects the fit closely, marking the device for future adjustments. After a long day, Ava is ready for tummy rubs. Her owner, Charlotte, is hopeful the brace will be a success. The hectic pace in the workshop continues as Janice moves on to adjusting a pair of boots for her next client.
Hi, this is Radar. He's a Smooth Fox Terrier coming to see Janice about getting some new boots.
So Radar came for a bit of a rework on the shoes. We made them a few months ago, and Radar has some very tricky feet to kind of hold on to. I feel like they're a bit of a moving target. I saw him back for his slippers, and I was like, oh, I still don't like the way his feet are sitting. So we recasted him, and I just relaminated them and transferred over all his straps and pads, and I feel like his feet have a better contour now.
Radar arrives with his owner, Doreen Stegmuller, wearing his indoor softshell boots. He's been suffering from a mysterious degenerative issue for some time.
He has erosive arthritis in his carpal, which is his wrists, and his paws have collapsed. And now his toes are dislocating and he's painful, and he's only 7 years old. Not much is known about this issue. So nobody seems to know what to do about it, but luckily we have Janice, and she's created these boots for him, and I think without those boots, I don't know what he would do.
That looks good.
Once Janice has checked the fit of his new outdoor rigid shell boots, she returns to the workshop to make the final adjustments, while Radar and Doreen head outside to play catch.
I grew up with this breed. They're fun. They're very mischievous. He's extremely good-tempered, so it's a really good disposition. He's still really active, playing. I just can't stop him, and he just doesn't know when to stop, even when it hurts.
Hopefully, Radar's orthotic boots will help him stay active for many years to come.
All right, so we'll pop him back up top. People really, really love their pets, and anything that's gonna help their pet, I think they're super pleased that it's an option. I feel like Radar is probably going to need a sort of long-term management with his slippers and his shoes to make his feet comfortable and to keep those toes in the best possible alignment. And I think it may be an ongoing thing for him, but it's a way that he can walk and run and be comfortable as we can make him. Hi, look at your boots. So you're gonna have to just report back how it's going. I like the way his feet are sitting in there right now, but we can certainly adjust if we see anything.
Good job, sir. Yeah, that was it.
Next, Janice gets to work repairing Frankie, the three-legged golden retriever's prosthetic leg.
Any device is gonna need maintenance over time, and the tread wears down and the Velcro wears out. So those are the main things that people come in for.
Most pets will need repairs on their devices at least once a year.
It really depends on the dog and what they get up to and what they get into. Some people, I don't see them back as much, and their dogs are maybe not quite as active. Frankie's into lots of stuff and in and out of water sometimes, so her device definitely sees a lot of action. She's a really good device user, and that is a credit to her mums who have done so much rehab with her and started her with a leg early, and they're very consistent with it.
As Janice puts the finishing touches on her device, Frankie and her owners, Joey and Jody, return.
Come on, Frankie. Come on, Frankie. Look who's here.
We're all set. I'll let you put that on, try it out.
That strap first. You got new running shoes. Okay, look at that, all new and spiffy. Okay, want to give it a walk?
It's important that Frankie's device is ready to go because she has a big social event coming up on her calendar, something the whole family's looking forward to.
Good job, Frankie. They're really loving the connection they've been able to make with other people because of Frankie, I think, too, which I think is really nice because it's kind of opened up this other world that they didn't have before, so that's kind of neat. And yeah, they're just lovely. Like when they come to see me, it's always a good day.
Good girl.
Coming up.
You're gonna give her a hug? You're gonna give her, oh, that'll make her day.
Adaptable Animals is back. With her newly fixed prosthetic, Frankie's making a special visit to the home of 6-year-old Bennett Tuck, who shares a similarity with her. It's the first time they've seen each other in 2 years.
I have a prosthetic just like Frankie.
Hello. Hello. Look who I've got in here.
Bennett was born missing his right foot and most of his right hand. At their first meeting 2 years ago, Frankie visited Bennett in his kindergarten classroom. Bennett's mom, Jennifer Tuck, believes the visit was life-changing.
Bringing Frankie into the classroom really helped to bridge the gap between Bennett having a prosthetic and his classmates not knowing what a prosthetic's all about, because suddenly talking about prosthetics became all about Frankie and less about Bennett, and it really took the pressure off him. And so the kids were able to relate Frankie to Bennett, and since then, they continue to support Bennett and encourage him in every way.
You're gonna give her a hug?
She's very sweet.
You're gonna give her, oh, that'll make her day.
There you go. You show her around the yard. Show her your favorite spots.
Where's your favorite spots?
The backyard.
Jen Otway, Bennett's kindergarten teacher and owner of Frankie's sister Briar, had the initial idea to bring Frankie into her classroom.
Bringing in Frankie was this wonderful moment of saying, like, here is this dog with a difference and living life and loving life, and isn't this wonderful? And Bennett was just beaming from that moment on. And we saw a difference with him being very much more proud of his differences.
Sit.
Good sit. Good job.
Good job, Bennett.
Good job.
Bennett's mom, Jennifer, hopes Frankie will be able to return to Bennett's school as he moves through the grades.
Why don't I throw the ball and we'll see who's faster? On your marks, get set, go! Going into grade 1, he is exposed to a whole new cohort of kids who are unfamiliar with his limb difference. And if we can somehow get the message out about Frankie and his ability to resonate with Frankie and his limb difference, then I think that it'll just help to bring awareness to limb differences and show how capable and fearless and amazing kids with limb differences are.
Me and Mommy had a race, and I got to the ball, and I won.
Bennett, I think he displays a sense of pride when he is able to see Frankie because, you know, he's the only one that has that in common with Frankie. And it's just as when he was in the classroom among his peers, he went from being very shy and reserved about his prosthetic and his limb difference to suddenly realizing, you know, there's somebody else out there like me, and look how capable they are.
Joey and Jody hope this is the beginning of a lifelong friendship.
As long as Frankie's on this earth, Frankie and Bennett are going to have a relationship.
Yeah,
There's no doubt in my mind about that.
Frankie is 100%
going to be there for Bennett for the rest of her life. And obviously dogs don't live for forever, but the memory of Frankie will stay with him his whole life. That's her little boy, and she's gonna hang in there with him till the end.
As Bennett's younger brother Peyton and Jen Oatway's kids join in the fun, Frankie finds herself back where she started out in life, surrounded by the love of children.
She's been one of the best things that's ever happened to us. She's just amazing. And I want to tell her story. I'm really proud of her. I'm proud of everything that's gone on with it, so.
Oh, hi, Briar. Hi, Briar. Is that your baby sister?
Frankie gets a special treat of her own as her sister Briar comes to play. Her owners know none of this would be possible without Janice and her prosthetic devices.
It's beyond the prosthetic, right? It's moved so far into the human level. I'm so glad that I got a chance to have other people see what we get to see. What Janice does didn't just affect Bennett. It changed the TAs that work there, all the kids that are around, like, hey, wait a minute, this happens to everything and everyone. And that's what's super cool.
For Janice, seeing success stories like Frankie makes all of the hard work worth it.
So I do it because I think it's a necessary service. I do it because I love the dogs, for sure, and I like to see what their outcomes can be. And I like making things. Like, I'm very, meticulous in my making of things, and I like that.
All right, come on in.
A week after their initial visit, Ava and her owner, Charlotte, return to try on her new device.
Oh, it turned out so nice.
It did, yeah, I love this pattern.
Thanks to the initial test brace fitting, Ava's permanent brace needs few adjustments.
It's super hands-on and just trying to use all those steps to get to a final product that fits as well as it can.
That's one more tail-wagging happy customer in the books.
Come on. Good girl.
Simone Cupid, Integrated Described Video Specialist. Karen McGee, Content Development Specialist. Jennifer Johnson, Coordinating Producer. Karen Knight, Director, Production. Brian Perdue, Director, Programming. John Melville, VP, Content Development and Programming. David Arrington, President and CEO. Produced for AMI by Mountain Road Productions. Copyright 2022 Accessible Media, Inc.